Hey everybody, how's it going? Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be doing another $50 coin roll hunt. We've had some great results recently, just looking for wheat pennies, Indian head cents, proofs, errors, foreigns, other cool things. There's a lot to find, and we've been finding it. So, in these two boxes, we'll have to see what we can pull out. We've been working our way through some folders. If you've been following along, we've been doing relatively well recently, and then we're hoping to continue that trend. So, let's see how it goes. And just scanning for enders, not much to show. We have one wheat penny on the reverse, and then over here we have a 1963 Canadian cent, which is also kind of cool, but I'll be back with the first time we get something significant. So our first update is going to come 6 rolls later, 6 rolls into this first box, 1946 face up, and it's a good way to kind of break the ice and get down into this hunt. And interestingly enough, 2 rolls later, we repeated our past roll with another 1946p. Looks pretty similar, maybe slightly more worn, but nothing else so far. And another face-up find for us, but this is a really great find, and I'll explain why in just a moment. It's a 1950S Lincoln wheat penny. And that S is a more rare mint mark, San Francisco, and we also haven't gotten it in our folder yet. It'll be able to slot right in, and hopefully we can get a couple more folder fillers. We've been getting a consistent, 1 to 3 in each of our hunts, and if we could do better than that this time, that would be really cool. And definitely another on-theme find for this box. Yet again, face up a 1946. So that's our third, I believe, out of 4 wheat pennies at this point. So we'll see if we can mix it up a little bit. Still really happy about that 50S though. The next roll is going to offer us our first reveal opportunity of today. So we'll see what it is. And it is a 1957D. So nothing too spectacular, but it's another wheat penny. At this point, we've done 19 rolls, so we're on a pretty solid pace. Nothing extraordinary, but still pretty good. And a second reveal, I'll see what the date is momentarily on this coin. And a 1956D, so similar to the 57D, we see a lot of these, but, cannot complain. This marks exactly the halfway point through the first box. Third reveal for us, so also looks like a potentially slightly newer one, but it's always fun to see just exactly what we have. Going to do a live. And a 1956. So that's the Philadelphia counterpart. I haven't said it yet. The D is Denver, Colorado. The Philadelphia counterpart to the coin that we just found. 2 rolls later with another pretty exciting reveal here. And the reason that I'm excited is because it's got some really nice, brown but uncirculated look to it. So the coin's in 1942, which is actually a little bit earlier than I expected it to be. So this will definitely make a nice upgrade for the folders, and definitely a fun coin to find here. Getting some coins with some good condition that are this old is pretty rare in these, so very pleased with this. And on our next roll, we got some really good news. We got 3 wheat pennies, 2 of which were face up. Funny because one of them is another 46, staying on theme, and then 1944, which is also a relatively common date, and then we'll see what this one is. This one could be a little bit older since it's definitely a little bit more worn. And it's another 1946. I don't know what the odds are of this happening, but it's definitely low and pretty crazy that we've been just getting so many. Maybe it was somebody dumped their roll at a bank and then they ended up all getting rolled together, but whatever. Can't complain about 3 pennies in 1 roll. And after a little bit of a shortage in terms of the wheats that we were finding, we were able to claw back in with a very uniformly corroded 1953D. Nothing special, especially given its condition, but the coin is still a welcome kind of breaking of the monotony of just searching through rolls with nothing. Yet another wheat penny, this one right on the tail of the last roll, so we'll see what it is. This has potential to be older, and it is definitely not 1956, but that's still, 70 years. Wait, is that right? No, I think 63 years old, which is still, pretty respectable in terms of a coin. And we'll see if this is a potential, false signal, but this looks like it could have potential to be pretty old and valuable as well. 1936, so not super valuable, but it's definitely on the older side, our first pre-1940 for today, and it's always exciting to make a pickup like that. Check that out. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? It looks like a really, really cool coin, and it's definitely not American, and it's in really nice condition, so I'm just going to pull back this penny, and we'll see what it is. Awesome. So it's a Panamanian 1 centesimo, obviously from Panama. The coin is tied to the dollar, so this is worth exactly 1 cent, barring any numismatic potential scarcity or something like that, which I'm not sure about. It says Uraka on the obverse of the coin and has a nice looking back, but the really cool thing is that I've seen some of these Panamanian coins before and they've never been in this good condition, so this is a really cool find for us, and I'm very happy to be able to pick it out of this box. I've never gotten a Panamanian penny in a penny box. I have gotten some Panamanian half dollars and maybe a quarter as well. Another roll, another find. We got another reveal coming up. This one looks pretty modern, and it is the very most modern wheat penny possible, the 1958 last year that they made this wheatback design. And a quick live unboxing at the end of this first box. We have 15 wheat pennies, not including this roll, and then 2 Canadian foreigns as well as that one Panamanian one. So we'll start out, checking out what that ender is, and then I'll do a quick run through and see if we can't find anything else either. So right here we've got a 1951, which is relatively common, not anything too crazy. And I'm just gonna go through. I actually go through them relatively quickly. I know a lot of people kind of enjoy things like cherry picking and that sort of stuff. And maybe I miss a couple of coins, but for the most part, it's worked pretty well. And there was nothing else in that roll. So on to box 2. And talk about a great way to start out box 2. 2 rolls in, and we got a 1923, which is a really good date for us, and super, super old, almost 100 years old. And then a reveal of an older George VI Canadian. 1951 is going to be the date there. So 2 awesome finds, hopefully setting a good precedent for the remaining half of our hunt. And I originally was not going to do anything for this roll, but we got 4 Canadians, so I'll look at the dates live with you guys. Here's a 2001 and 1981. Definitely less exciting, but then the ones that I wanted to check out was this one, which is going to be in 1962, which is older, and then we also got another one with the same obverse, the Elizabeth II, but the older one, 1964. And in addition to this Canadian, we got a wheat penny that we'll check out live here, 1942 and 1981. So again, nothing spectacular, but more finds is great. Here we have a quick face-up update. This one is going to be a 1944 found and 39 rolls left at this point. And as if these boxes had not been good enough to us already, we got a 1918, over 100 years old, a great find. We found it face up. We'll check out the back. Looks pretty worn as well, but the coin is great. And, it's probably pretty rare. I'd say maybe 1 in 5 boxes that you get something over 100 years old. And this is going to be one of those 5 or so. So super happy, and we'll see what we can do in the last 36 rolls. And literally 2 rolls later, after that 1918, we get a Canadian here, 1976. But what I'm really excited about is this uncirculated wheat penny, 1957D. So that seems to be the spot for almost all the uncirculated coins that we're finding. But they're always welcome, and just a great one to pick out of circulation. And I like to capture things live as best as I can, and it looks like we have something that's pretty old here kind of peeking out, so I'm just going to unveil it. That's definitely going to be a wheatie. 1917S! No way. That is really cool. First ever, or maybe not first ever, but first in this $1,000 series that I'm doing, where we got a coin that's over 100 years old with a mint mark. That's going to look great in our folder, and a super special find for us. I'm glad that I was able to get the live reaction, because I just saw this peeking out. I was like, that's got to be old. Again, not something to be crazy excited about in terms of value. It's not a super valuable coin, but it's just something really cool for a coin roll hunter to be able to get something this old with a mint mark. Again, going to be a really cool date to be able to fill out in the folder. And in addition to a slightly older 1963 Canada coin, we have another reveal. This one probably going to be newer as well. 1951D. I think we may have already gotten that specific combo in this box, but still pretty happy to pick it out. Super fast update. After 2 more rolls, we got a 1957D. Now with 19 rolls to go, we're going to be able to check out this coin. Not hopes up, but we, got a 1995. That's not crazy. Didn't expect anything, though. Here we have another one for us to check out. Probably going to keep it brief as well, but we'll see what it is. A 1953, 1953D, I think, actually. There's a little bit of corrosion on this coin. Nothing spectacular. And here we got another great coin that'll be able to fill out a slot in our folder, the 1942D wheat penny. So a lot of the ones in the 40s, we need mint marks, and we filled out pretty much, I think, 50 and 40 P mints except for 1954, and maybe I'll show off the folder at the end of this hunt. Here we have a 1999 newer Canadian penny, and then to the right of it, we got to reveal 1957D, so not really a date that we're looking for, but I really like that uncirculated 57D we were able to find earlier. At this point, we're 90% done with our hunt, meaning that there's 10 rolls left, and we got a 1940 Philadelphia kind of rounding the corner to the end of the hunt. Another wheat cent, first in that last 10 rolls, this is number 10, 1941D, and I'm going to check briefly if that's one that we need, and the answer is that it is. So here's the slot that'll go in, and again, I've decided to show the updated penny folder at the end of this hunt. With only one roll remaining outside of this one, we get a fitting concluding wheat penny, a 1946, what we pretty much led off with 3 out of 4 or something in the start and then picked up a few later, so it's kind of a fun way to conclude it, and we'll see if we can't get something in this last roll. And thankfully that last roll did have something. We have another reveal, not sure what it is, a 1953, nothing super special, but still a fun way. I think our wheat penny count was pretty high here, with definitely some quality ones, so I'll be back with the full recap. And in terms of our finds and our final wrap-up, we got a 1978 Panamanian 1 centesimo. We got a variety, 18 total Canadians, including 51, 60, 62, 63, and 64. Moving on, we had a nice uncirculated, and let me get that a little bit better focused, nice uncirculated wheat penny from 1957, in addition to 14 other 50s wheats, including a 1950S, which was the only real standout in terms of having a cool mint mark. And then moving on, we had a variety, I believe it was 13 total from the 40s, including a 41D, 42D, and then 6 total 1946s, which was the most found coin in the box. That was, I didn't search for the newer ones. Then we had a 1917S, 1918, 1923, and 1936, making this probably one of the best 2-box series that I've ever done. Now I'll give you a little preview of the folder. So here we go for our folders. We got a 1911, which is the earliest find so far, in addition to a 1916, 1917S, and 1918. By the way, we are $300 worth in, and I'm just going to flip the page, and I'm going to try to get this always in the back, because sometimes, I can't even tell what the coins I have in are, because of the see-through. Here we have a 1923, 24, and 25, and these I have a feeling will be a lot of difficult ones to fill out. You often get the teens, but some of these, like with the mint mark, should be pretty difficult. And then I'll move on to the next page. And on this next page, we do have some more good results. Again, though, a lack of mint marks, and some of these are going to be difficult. They're kind of semi-key or just difficult to find. But, pretty pleased overall, and I'm going to get to the 40 through 58, or 41 through 58, which will have a lot better percentage filled out so far. And here that folder is. Obviously, we can see some of our new additions. I didn't really point them out last time, but I think we got this 42D and 41D, as well as the 50S. A lot better distribution. I have found steel coins 43 and 43S, but they haven't been part of this $1,000 penny box run, so I'm not including them for now. And then I'll show you our very last page. Again, I've mentioned I'm not going to be doing the anything earlier, later than 1958. But here we have it. We got 52S, 53S. I've been interested in the lack of 1954, probably something we can improve upon. And then I'm being pessimistic, and I just put a random wheat cent that we found in that slot. So there it is, and we'll hope to find some more great coins like we did today, and maybe make some progress in these folders on our next $50 penny hunt. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already, I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay in contact with me on my Instagram, TreasureTownYT, Facebook, TreasureTown, or my website, TreasureTownYT.com. And I love receiving packages from you guys. I'll unbox them in a video once I get enough, and my address for that is TreasureTown, P.O. Box 201, Greenwich, Connecticut 06836. So I'll see you on some of my other videos.